Abbie, it's great to catch up. Before we get into anything football, how's your summer been?
It's been very busy through work-related things and then holidays and Glastonbury Festival. Yeah, it's been a busy one. So back to it and straight back to the grind.
I've been asked to ask you, who was your favourite act you saw at Glastonbury?
That is a good question. There was a lot of great acts. I was impressed with Charlie XCX. Don't really know any of her music, but she was great. Nile Rodgers and Chic, for all the older fans out there, they were great. I think it was just an experience. I think if anyone's ever been to Glastonbury, they'll know what I mean by that.
And you had a bit of change in the office as well. New players aside, you've got Beth Island and Sophie Gillies working alongside you now in the office. What is it like having them in, a bit of extra support?
Yeah, it's really good. It's such a relief, really, for myself and David to be able to concentrate on some matters that are really pressing and can get our full attention, knowing that the girls are working hard in the background, making sure, just the day-to-day routine tasks are being done properly. They're very switched on girls, very capable of being left to just get on with their days, and they don't need much supervision. Well, I say that. But yeah, no, they're fantastic additions to the team. It's exactly where we want to be going, forward planning and making sure that we can be sustainable and our own women's unit and separate identity is exactly what we want to be. And yeah, just having them on board is also that added security around their playing futures as well.
You've already been busy transfer-wise, and we'll hit this chronologically. First of all, we announced that Leah Burridge joined the club. Obviously, she's the captain of Oxford last season. That must be some coup for you.
Yeah, absolutely. When we knew Leah was interested, we reached out to her and we had some really good conversations over the summer. And I think there was only one place in her mind that she wanted to come when the time was right to leave Oxford. She comes in with vast experience of this league, even played higher. She's a real character amongst the group and has already set standards in training and just how she conducts herself. So she's a really good player for those young ones to look up to and aspire to be, as well as being an absolutely fantastic footballer as well. So yeah, really delighted to get somebody in that's going to really help compete and add some robustness to that midfield area.
Next up was Georgia Vaccaro, who is one of those young players that might be looking up to players like Leah, and her choosing Exeter City as a place to start her development is quite a statement.
Absolutely, and the same conversations over the summer with not just Georgia but her parents as well, just making sure that they were confident that we were the right club for them. You've only got to look at our track history with developing young players that we've had here. It is something that we take seriously. Georgia has got all the pedigree and all the ingredients to go on and be a top class striker, not just in tier 3, but she could really go on and hit further higher heights. And again, it's somebody that will learn from the current players in and around her. You've got golden boot winners in Sophie Gillies and Sarah Stacey that are leading the line and scoring week in, week out. So she's going to be in amongst some really good company, and she's going to learn a lot. And hopefully we can help her on her journey and give her some new experiences. And
then we announced the return of Fern Slocum. And while she is a new signing, she was obviously here on loan last year, which means she'll slot straight back in.
She already has done, yeah. There's a little girl band, is what I've called them, forming at the moment between JD, Fern and Emily. There's a few others in and amongst that mix as well. So yeah, she's just slotted straight back in. Again, just comes in with bags of personality. She's a really good character to have around the squad. A fantastic footballer, very versatile, that can play in multiple positions as well. So that's crucial in this division. And yeah, like I said, a really talented footballer that's really young as well. So has got so much more to give to the game.
And today we've just announced the signing of Ellie Sara, who's a long-term target for yourself, so you must be so delighted to now have her in red and white. Yeah, absolutely. When a player of her calibre becomes available in this division, you have to snap that up as quickly as you can. As I've already alluded to, Sophie and Sarah are absolutely phenomenal last season, and I'm sure that they'll have fantastic seasons again. But we can't just rely on those two scoring goals for us week in, week out. So to have somebody like Ellie, who is a proven goal scorer, come into our ranks and help bolster our squad, it was a no-brainer for us. Had some really honest conversations about where she is at the moment, and she's really delighted to be here and looking forward to putting a smile back on her face and giving her some confidence back in the game. And all these signings show a real intent from yourself and the staff behind the scenes in building on last season's 4th place finish as well.
Absolutely, and 4th place finish last year was phenomenal for us, but we need to make sure we go out there this season and prove everybody that we're not just a one-hit wonder, that we've got some very talented players within this group, within this squad, that are going to go on again and kick on. Everybody we've brought in this year has got bags of potential, and we just need to make sure that we unlock that and we give them the tools to do that in training, and hopefully that'll only breed more success into what was already a fantastic squad.
On to training. The players have spent the first couple of sessions of pre-season doing their testing with Estelle and her back-to-action team. Now, what do the next few weeks have in store for the players?
Lots of running. A bit of running, as every pre-season does. It's important that we're a fit bunch of girls. We're not a big squad. This will be the first time and won't be the last time I say that. We're not a big squad, so we need to make sure that we're physically capable of the demand that this league puts on us. But then we'll be touching on tactical and technical elements that we've already briefly skirted over in session number 2. Tonight we'll go into a bit more detail of that, and then Sunday, ahead of some more friendlies that we've got coming up, we'll start to put our style of play on things. We will need to adapt and adjust things to last season. We know that, so we need to make sure that we've got plan A, plan B and plan C down to a T, ready for that kick-off.
And like you alluded to there, we've got a number of pre-season friendlies coming up, but the big one is the home game against Cardiff in a couple of weeks, where supporters have the first chance to see the new players in action, as well as watching the Lionesses showly afterwards in the Euros, an event you must be really looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. What a better way to highlight the fantastic football that is going to be a showcase in the Southwest. England v Wales in the Euros, and England v Wales in a friendly with us against Cardiff. So, the work that David Gribble has gone through to make this event, alongside the 2 girls that have been instrumental in making this event possible. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon. Hopefully that the fans will come out in their numbers, as they always do, and support the girls. The first time, like you said, to see the new ones. We'll be looking to make sure that we put our plan in place, and we execute the game plan that we've got set out. And that we look at a few things and try new things and have a look at combination plays and personalities. So, that's what pre-season's all about, and we're really excited to get out there on the grass and finally kick off football again.
Thank you very much.